Hi guys, good morning. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll start session. Let us start. Yes, previous class. Yeah, 1 second. Yesterday it was updated. Yes, 9th. Yes. So previous class about all these basics completed. Yes, interpreter and compiler completed. Yes, next Java depends on both compiler as well as interpreter. Yes, up to this topic completed. Let us see. The Java features independent platform. How Java is independent platform? Yes, independent platform. Yes, independent platform. Yes. What does it mean? Independent platform. So what does it mean? Let us see. Independent platform means base. So Java, yes, Java program running on anyways, independent of OS. Java program is independent of OS. That means the dot class file. So what we discussed yesterday, dot class file is an independent of OS. The dot class file, whatever we discussed yesterday, some dot class file discussed. The dot class file is an independent of OS. Dot class file is an independent of OS. So independent platform means independent of OS. Simply just independent of OS. Okay. Yes, independent platform means independent of OS. Yes. How Java made us independent of OS? How Java made us independent of OS? Okay. How? Reason. How Java? Yes. How Java? Yes. Made us. Yes. Independent of OS. Independence. This is a question. Independence. Yes. Independence of OS. The question is taken. How Java made us independent of OS? Yes. Let us see. Yes. Before going to this, let us see about exe file. About exe file. Here, some question for you guys. Some question. Exe file prepared. Exe file prepared on Windows OS. Yes, simple question. Very simple question. Exe file prepared on Windows OS. Can I run on Linux base? So this is the question. Yes, anyone, can you answer this? Yes. Exe file prepared on Windows base, can I run on Linux base? So this is the question. Anyone, can you answer this? Anyone, can you answer this? Yes. See, exe file prepared on Windows base, can I run on Linux base? Okay. Answer is no. Answer is no, we cannot. Reason? Why? Why? Why can't? Why can't run on Linux base? What's reason? Any idea? Of course, I'll explain all of these things, the reasons and everything very clearly. I'll explain. Just I'm asking your idea. Why? What's the reason? Yes. Reason is exe file is a OS dependent. OS dependent. Exe file is OS dependent. Reason is exe file is OS dependent. Reason exe file is OS dependent. Next, immediately question: why exe file is OS dependent? Why exe file is why exe file is OS dependent? Why? Immediate question. Yes, why exe file is OS dependent? Yes. Yes, we should answer this one here. Okay. See. Sorry. See, exe file prepared on Windows OS. It's a Windows OS dependent. Yes, it will not run on other operating systems. Yes, reason exe file is a OS dependent. Okay, exe file is a OS dependent. Yes, why exe file is OS dependent? Let us see. Why exe file is OS dependent? Okay, yes. Suppose, for example, here, for example, see exe file prepared, exe file prepared on Windows OS or Linux base. Suppose exe file prepared on Linux base. So, for example, exe file prepared on Linux base. For example, here, let us take C program exe file. C program exe file. C program exe. For example, C program exe file. For example, C program exe file prepared on Linux base. C. Yes. Today topic is about all the features. Okay. So till yesterday, discussed about interpreter and compiler, the differences. Java depending on compiler as well as interpreter. Very clearly explained here. Yes, today independent of feature, independent of platform, the feature, Java features. Yes. So first one, independent of platform, independent of platform. What does it mean? Mean Java program running on anyways. See dot class file. Yesterday after compilation, generation of dot class file, we have discussed, right? One example we discussed. The dot class file. Dot class file is an independent of OS. Suppose dot class file developed on Windows OS, same dot class file you can run on anyways. Dot class file prepared on Windows OS, for example, here, that can run on anyways. Dot class prepared on anyways, and it can run on anyways here. Anyways to anyways. Okay, dot class prepared on anyways and running on anyways. That is nothing but independent here. How? Now question is how Java made us independent of OS? This is question. How Java made us independent of OS here? This is a question here. Okay, for that purpose, first of all about exe. If you have the exe file knowledge, then easy to understand this one here. Let us say about exe file. So what is exe file? See exe, for example, here. Yes, exe file prepared, exe file. Yes, exe file prepared in Windows OS. Can I run on Linux base? No. So why? Reason, exe file is a OS dependent. If exe file prepared on Windows OS, that can run on only Windows OS. If it is on Linux base, that can run on only Linux base. Exe file is always OS dependent. exe file is always voice dependent. Why? Question is why. So why exe file is voice dependent? Okay, see, since exe file is voice dependent here, okay, it cannot run other operations. Okay, since exe file is voice dependent here, cannot run other operations. Why exe file is voice dependent? So why exe file is voice dependent? Yes, for this purpose, yes, you must have the knowledge of exe file. What is exactly exe file? Suppose, for example, yes, C program exe file. For example, C program exe file prepared on Linux base. Linux base. Then, then it contains. Then it contains. Yes, C program exe file prepared on Linux base. Then it contains what? Let us see. Demo login. Yes, Mr. Yes, Hitesh Patil. Yes, select audio while joining. Yes, is facing issue. Dipesh. Yes, okay. Now is okay, fine. Yes, Linux base. LS. CDM yesterday's one. Doesn't work in LS. See here. Remove start.port deleted. Remove restart project. Links were deleted. LS. gedit test.c. Test.c. Now this is your C program code. See, after compiling test.c, what happens? Some test.to file generates. CLS only test.c, GCC hyphen C, test.c file, right? Compiled of that. They say test.to file. One second. Yes, what is exactly test.to file? This text.test.o. O means object file. Object file. So what is this object for? Test.o file contains what? Test.o file contains what? Yes. Say this. For our C program, void main, top to bottom, this whole code converts into binary code, zeros ones format, and it will write, compiler will write to the test.o file. Test.o file contains binary code for our C program. Test.to file contains binary code for C program. Test.to file contains binary code for C program. Okay. Next, here they say stdio data center file. So stdio data center file. This header file also developed in C language. If this header file developed in C language, this header file also contains some code, that binary code. This header file also contains some binary code. Okay. Yes. So header file binary code. Right. Now here test.to file contains your C program binary code. Next header file also contains binary code. Okay. Test.to file contains your C program binary code. Next header file. That header file also contains some binary code. Okay. Now creation of exe file. GCC hyphen O. Yes. Project exe file. Project exe file. Test.o. Yes. What happens here? Yes. That project exe file created. Yes. How that project exe generating? Yes. Your C program compiled. No error. Of no error. Test.o file generated. So this contains binary code for our C program. Okay, fine. Now creation of exe file. Yes, how this exe file creating here? See project exe file. This project exe file. This project exe file generates by linking your program binary code test.to file plus binary code of std data file, that all include files. Binary code for std data file means its library. Binary code for C library plus binary code for OS library. So OS library also linking to this exe file. So finally exe file contains what? Binary code for C program, binary code for C software library, std etc. file, and binary code for OS library. Binary code for OS library. Okay, that is finally exe file, right? Now project here, run it. Project exe file. Got the output, right? So here this C program exe file. Yes, C program exe file prepared on Linux base. Then it contains binary codes, binary codes, binary codes, binary code for C program, binary code for C program, binary code for C program, C program plus binary binary code for binary code for C library, binary code for C library, binary code for C library, binary code for C library plus binary, yes, binary code for binary code for okay, binary code for OS library, binary code for OS library. See, tested.c is a source program. Your C program, tested.c is a source C program, that English language. Tested.c is a C program, that is English language. Tested.to is a object file that has binary code, zeros ones format. Tested.to file can zeros ones format, binary codes. Okay, so here C program exe file. See the C program exe file prepared on Linux base. C program exe file prepared on Linux base. Then it contains binary code for binary codes for C program, binary code. Then it contains binary code for C program. Next, binary code for C library, binary code for OS library. That means what is happening at the time of creation of exe file itself, OS library linking to exe file, then running. So then running program, right? Running program. Okay. See, previously we discussed one point here. Previous class. See, every program links with OS library before going to start execution. Yes, every program has to link. These application softwares, maybe C software, yes, C program or C++ or Java, something like this. So every program has to link with OS library. Okay, every program has to link with OS library. Every program. Okay, see, 1 second. Yes, see. Suppose here previously we discussed hardware, next operating system, operating system, operating system with library, with library, with library. Yes, on top of which maybe C program or C++ or Java, yes, or Python, yes, maybe database or Hadoop. Yes, something is running. Okay, something is running. Okay, now C program or C++ Java, all the programs first of all have to link with OS library. Half linking then communicates with the hardware components. Yes, to communicate with the hardware components, every program has to link. Every program has to link with the operating system. After linking with the operating system, then executes and finally generating output. It has to link compulsory. That link should be there. Without link, cannot communicate with the hardware components. Okay, so every program has to link. Now in our case, C program case, at the time of creation of exe file itself, that exe file is linked with OS library. Okay, this is called a static linking. Okay, yes, this is called a static linking. Okay, So at the time of creation of exe file itself, at the time of creation of exe file itself, at the time of creation of exe file itself, yes, OS library linking with exe file. At the time of creation of exe file only. So at the time of creation of exe file only here, yes, OS library linking. See creation of exe file. See this here. See this is creation of creating exe file. At the time of creation of exe file, that compiler, C language compiler taking your binary code for C program, binary code for C library, binary code for OS library, by linking all these three generating exe file. So at the time of creation of exe file itself, linking OS library. So it is called a static linking. It's a static linking. It's a static linking. It's a static linking. So this is static linking. This is static linking. Okay. So static linking, right? Okay. So OS, yes, exe file is linked with OS library. Exe file is linked with OS library. Okay, fine. See project exe, that exe file contents. The binary code, this is the binary code. Binary code of that exe file. Binary code of exe. Okay. Binary code of exe. Yes, you can see, but you can't understand nothing here. Nothing to understand here. So this exe contents. That's exe contents. Okay. Yes. Now here, see this. C program exe file prepared on Linux base. Then it contains, yes, binary code for C program, binary code for C library, binary code for OS library, binary code for OS library. Okay. Yes. Can we separate the content of exe? No, I did not understand your question. No. Can we separate the content of exe file means? Separation of content of exe file means what? Okay, fine. No, I did not understand your question. Can we separate the content of exe file? Separation means what? What kind of separation? Okay. C program. Yes, C program exe file prepared on Windows files, for example. Windows files. Windows files. Then it contains binary code for C program, binary code for C library, binary code for, yes, this first case Linux OS library, sorry, Linux OS library. C program exe file prepared on Linux OS. Then it contains binary code for C program, binary code for C library, binary code for Linux library, Linux OS, binary code for, yes, binary code for Linux library. Okay, Linux library. Okay, yes. Suppose C program exe file prepared on Windows OS. C program exe file prepared on Windows OS. Then it contains binary code for C program. Yes, binary code for C library. Next, binary code for, yes, Windows OS library. Windows OS library. That's it. That's it here. Now, suppose let us take some example here. Example, suppose test.exe file. Test.exe file. Suppose test.exe file prepared. Test.exe file prepared on Windows OS. Test.exe file prepared on Windows OS. Then yes, Windows library. Yes, Win library. Win library linked with exe file. Linked with test.exe file. Test.exe file. Test.exe file. Test.exe file. Correct? Yes. For example, exe file, a test.exe file prepared on Windows OS, prepared on Windows OS here, Windows OS, then yes, Win library, yes, then Windows OS library here, that Windows library linked with test.exe file. Now this test.exe file placing on different platforms. How it's working here. Let us see different platforms here. Let us take different platforms. Let us take different platforms. Yes, first let us take Windows platform. Yes, hardware, your computer hardware, 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 hardware. On top of hardware, next OS. Here there is a OS. Suppose Windows OS. First let us take Windows platform. Yes, Windows OS with Windows library with Win library. H Win library. Here these libraries will communicate with the hardware components. Windows OS with Windows library with Win library. This Windows library will communicate with hardware components. Right? Yes, next. Not test.exe file. Yes, test.exe. Test.exe file. Not test.exe file. See test.exe file. This test.exe file is ready. This is now moving to Windows OS. See test. Here example is test.exe file prepared on Windows OS. Then Windows library linked with the test.exe file. That means test.exe file contains what? Windows library. The test.exe contains Windows library. Now the test.exe file moving on to Windows OS. After moving on to Windows OS, not try to run it. When you try to run it here, when you're running here, yes, it makes a call to Windows library. Just makes a call to Windows library. Just makes a call to Windows library. Just it's calling Windows library. Yes, calling Windows. Yes, it's available. Just calling. Yes, call to Windows. It will yes test.exe. Will try to call Windows library. Yes, it's available. Using that library communicates with the hardware component, and it's working here. See test.exe file. Yes, here test.exe file linked with yes Windows library. Right? Windows library linked with test.exe file. Right? Okay, so test.exe file. Okay, is linked with Windows library. Test.exe file linked with Windows library. Since it's linked with Windows library here, it makes a call to Windows library. Yes, it's available. Simply calling Windows library using that library communicates with hardware components. That's it. So this is working on Windows space. Let us take another platform. Let us take another platform. Suppose Linux platform. Linux platform. Same test.exe file placing a Linux base. Same test.exe place on Linux base. After placing a Linux base, now you try to run it. When you try to run it here, okay, yes, yes, test.exe file, test.exe file. When you try to run it here, now it makes a call to Windows library. Test.exe file, now it makes a call to Windows library, but here is not. This is what Linux base. This is Linux base. This is Linux base with the Linux library. So another platform, Linux base with Linux library. Now this test.exe file is linked with Windows library. Since it is linked with Windows library, it will try to call Windows library, but here is not available. That library is not matching, simply fails. That's the reason it's a OS dependent. It's a OS dependent. Okay, let us take another platform. Yes, Unix platform. Suppose Unix platform, Unix base. Yes, Unix base. Unix base with Unix library. Unix base with Unix library. Unix library. Unix library. Same test.exe file. Yes, same test.exe file. Let us move to Unix base. After moving to Windows base, try to run it here. When you try to run it, same. It will try to call to Windows library, but it's not available. That library not matching simply fails. Simply exe file fails. That's the reason exe file is OS dependent. No question is here. Let us answer all the questions. That question here. Yes, why exe file is OS dependent? Why exe file is OS dependent? OS dependent. Reason here. Yes, it contains reason, it contains OS library. Simple answer. It contains OS library. That's it. That exe file is already linked with OS library. So once linked with OS library, here, once linked with OS library, it becomes OS dependent. Once linking is done, it's a OS dependent. Okay, since exe file linked with OS library, it's OS dependent. Okay, so why exe file is OS dependent? Why exe file is OS dependent? Simple answer. Yes, answer is yes, it contains OS library. It contains OS library. It contains OS library. Okay, fine. One second, your question. Yes, OS library content, once exe file created, you cannot separate from exe file. Yes, once linked with Waze library here, you cannot delink. Yes, you mean to say delinking Waze library from the exe file. No, cannot be. Cannot be. Once build is created, that exe is done here, you cannot separate Waze library from the exe file. You cannot delink it. Only linking. Once linked, you cannot delink it. You cannot separate. Okay. I think it's clear. Okay. So this is exe file. Why exe file is Waze dependent reason is this. Okay, simple. Yes, here it's very simple. See, let us see all the questions here. Yes, independent of platform. What does it mean? Java dot class file is independent of OS. Here the topic we'll discuss. Yes, first about exe file. Exe file prepared on Windows OS. Can I run on Linux OS? No. Answer is no, you cannot. Why? Exe file is a OS dependent. So exe file is an OS dependent. So why exe file is OS dependent? For this answer, it contains OS library. It contains OS library. It's a statistical linking. Yes. Now let us come to Java. What is Java? What is Java? Suppose, yes, like exe file. In C language, exe file. In Java, everything is dot class file. Yes, Java dot class file. Java dot class file. For example, Java dot class file prepared, 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 prepared on Windows OS. 1 second. Let us take same this copy. Let us copy and compare with Java. Okay, this one. Let us take this one. Yes, C program exe file. In place of C program, now it's a Java program. Yes, Java program. Java program dot class. Base of ex now it's a dot class. It's a dot class. It's a dot class. Java program dot class file prepared in Windows OS. Then it contains what? Then it contains byte code, not binary code. Binary code is different. Byte code is different. We'll discuss byte code. Okay, then it contains binary byte code for Java program. Byte code for Java program plus byte codes for Java library, byte code for Java library plus OS library, no OS library. Okay, dot class file don't have any OS library. Yes, dot class file does not contain any OS library here. Okay, dot class file. So what is dot class file here? Dot class file. See, dot class file. Yes, it contains what byte code for Java byte code for Java program and byte code for Java library. See, Java library also developed in Java. See, C language library. You see, guys, C language library developed in C language only. C++ library developed in C++. Java library developed in Java. Yes, like this, we can develop our own library also. In real-time projects, we have to develop our own library. In C language, we have to develop user-defined library. In C++, user-defined library. In Java, also user-defined library. Yes, how to develop user-defined library, we'll discuss. I'll explain. In actual Java, I'll explain. Okay, yes. So dot class file. So dot class file contains what? Okay, here byte code for Java program, byte code for Java program, byte code for Java library. Java library also developed in Java. So dot class file, yes, dot class file, yes, dot class file, yes, does not, dot class file does not contain, yes, does not contain, dot class file does not contain any OS library, don't have any OS library here. So dot class file don't have any OS library. Dot class file does not contain any OS library. Dot class prepared an OS but don't have any OS library. Yes, it's a pure Java program. Yes, it is a pure Java program. Dot class file is a pure Java program. It's a pure Java program. Dot class file pure Java program. Yes, don't have any OS library. Okay. Yes. See dot class file prepared on anyways prepared on anyways. Okay, yes, it don't have any waste library, any OS library, any OS library. Okay, yes, yes, it is pure Java program. It is pure Java program. It is pure Java program, pure Java program, pure Java program. Just it's a pure Java program. Okay, yes, dot class file is a purely Java program, purely Java program. Okay, yes, Java program. It's a pure Java program. Don't have any OS library. Okay, yes, now here. Suppose tested dot class file. Yesterday we discussed about tested dot class, right? Tested dot class file. Okay. Not tested dot class file. Yes, it don't have any ways label. Pure Java program. Not tested dot class file running on different platforms. Now here also let us take different platforms. Like C language, in Java also, let us take different platforms here. Different platforms. Yes, Java. Here also let us take different platforms. Yes, how it's working here. Yes, not tested dot class file, like test.exe file. So tested dot class file, tested dot class file, tested dot class file. Okay, so tested dot class file. So tested dot, this is tested dot class file. This is moving on to Windows platform. Move on to Windows platform. Not try to run, but actually here to run the tested dot class file. First of all, it has to link with OS library compulsory. See, previously we discussed every program. Yes, every program. So first of all, linking with OS library, then communicates with the hardware components. Suppose if it is C and C++, C and C++, at the time of creation of exe file itself, OS library linking, that is static linking. It's a static link, C and C++ static linking, not in C and C++. Any case exe file concept, anywhere exe file concept is there, exe file concepts. Exe file concept case, it's a static linking. Exe file is a static linking. Exe file is a static linking. Now come to Java. Yes, when come to Java here, when come to Java, now this tested dot class file also has to link with OS library. Otherwise cannot run. Cannot run. Yes, who will link? Yes, who will link it here? Yes, tested dot class. It's a purely Java program. Don't have OS library, but it has to link. It has to link with OS library. Without linking with OS library, cannot communicate with the hardware here. Tested dot class file to run the tested dot class file here. So first of all, tested dot class file has to link with OS library, that Windows OS library of linking and communicating with the hardware here. We will link it. For linking purpose between your tested dot class file and Windows OS. Yes, one more layer come to the picture. One more layer come to the picture. What is that layer? Anyone can you guess it? Anyone can you guess it? What is that layer here? What is that layer? That layer is a JVM. That layer is Java Virtual Machine. Come to the picture now here. JVM. That layer is a JVM called as JVM. Java Virtual Machine. Okay, Java Virtual Machine. Java Virtual Machine. Come to the picture. Okay. Yes. In Java Virtual Machine, there is a interpreter. In Java Virtual Machine, there is an interpreter. That interpreter taking dot class file, the dot class file code converting into binary code. After converting into binary code, links with Windows library. That's it. Okay, JVM taking test dot class file. Yes, as a part of JVM, there is a interpreter. That interpreter taking yes your dot class codes converting into binary code. That binary code links with OS library here. Okay, once linked with OS library, then execute generating output. That's it. So here JVM takes care of linking. JVM takes care of linking. So JVM takes care of linking tested dot class file with Windows library. So once linked with Windows library here, then communicates with hardware components. That's it. This is working on Windows platform. Let us take another platform, Linux platform. Linux platform. Yes, Linux platform. Yes, if it is Linux platform here, now test same test dot class file Linux base. Same test dot class file Linux base. Okay, same here also. Linux base, Linux base, Linux base, Linux base with Linux library, Linux base with Linux library. Same on Linux base as this JVM. So this JVM taking test dot class file and links with Linux library. So what once linked with Linux library and communicates with the hardware components. That means what is happening here at runtime linking here. See, test dot class prepared. At the time of preparing, test dot class not linked. Suppose at the time of creation of file linked means that static linking, but not linked here, but not linked. See, tested dot class file after moving on to Windows OS, that Windows JVM taking tested dot class file and linking with the Windows library depends on the current ways that linking takes place. If OS is Windows OS, links to Windows library. If OS is Linux OS, links to Linux library. Suppose if OS is Unix OS, if OS is Unix OS here, then links with Unix library. So JVM takes care of that linking here. Unix OS. So Unix OS. The Unix OS, Unix library here. Unix OS, yes, Unix library. Unix OS, Unix library. Okay, right? Now tested dot class file. Tested dot class file. Yes, moving on to this. Yes, now JVM taking tested dot class file and links with Unix library. So what is happening here? Runtime linking this is. Before going to run it, just linking and running. Okay. So before going to run it, just linking and running. So these are dynamical linking. At runtime linking this is. At runtime linking, it is linking at runtime. It's linking at runtime here. Means dynamical linking. Yes, exe file. If it is exe file, that is statically linking. Exe file links with OS library statically. Yes, dot class file, Java dot class file. Java dot class file links with OS library dynamically. Python also same. In Python also same. Python program also links with OS library at runtime. Python program also same. Python script also same. Python interpreter taking Python script here and links to OS library dynamically. Runtime linking. Okay. Yes. So here even OS change here. Yes, that program need not change here. Okay. Same program running on anyways. Same program running on anyways here. Reason behind of this JVM is there. JVM. So like Windows JVM takes care of linking tested dot class to Windows library. Linux JVM takes care of linking tested dot class to Linux library. Next Unix JVM is linking tested dot class to Unix library. That's it. So behind of this is a JVM. JVM takes care of that. Okay, now here question is here, some question here, some doubt. JVM, is it part of OS? Yes, JVM, is it part of OS? JVM, is it part of OS? No, it's not a part of OS. JVM is not a part of OS. Yes, we have to install JVM. How to install JVM? JDK software. See, once JDK software installed here, automatically getting JVM. Once JDK software installed here, automatically getting JVM. So automatically getting JVM here. So once JDK installed, as a part of JDK, JVM is available. JVM is a part of JDK. So JVM, yes, JVM, yes, is a part of JDK. Part of JDK. Okay, so the JDK should be installed. 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 JDK should be installed to get JVM. Next, one more point, one more information. One more point here. See, Java program is independent of platform. Java program, that tested dot class file is a independent of platform. Java program is independent of platform, but JVM is a OS dependent. For our information series, tested dot class file, Java program is independent of platform, but JVM is OS dependent. Why JVM is OS dependent? Anyone can you guess it? Why JVM is OS dependent? Why JVM is OS dependent? Reason: JVM developed in C++. JVM developed in C++. Yes, JVM internals I'll explain. Yes, going forward in programming, when Java program is working, behind of Java programs JVM writes. For that behind of Java program, C++ program will be running. For Java program, yes, how C++ program is running? What's the code running? For behind of Java program, what is C++ code is running? I'll show practically. Practically, I'll show. I have that much of knowledge. because of embedded C experience here. I have that much of knowledge here. Behind of JVM, C++ code is running. Yes, what kind of code? What type of code is running? Yes, behind of JVM. I'll show you practically. Once you enter into Java programming, I'll explain very clearly. Okay, yes. So, yes, JVM developed in C++. It's EX. JVM is EX developed in C++. If it is developed in C++, it's EXE file. It's EXE file. Yes, if it is JVM is EXE file. JVM is EXE file. JVM.exe file. If it is EXE file, it's OS dependent. Yes, this JVM prepared for Windows phase. This JVM is for Linux phase. This JVM is for Unix phase. Different JVMs for different operations. Different JVMs for different operations. Okay, see here. Yes, this JVM Windows Live. Yes, this JVM is EXE file. This JVM is EXE file. That means this JVM contains Windows library. Yes, you understand that point here. This JVM is a .exe file. If .exe file, the .exe contains a library. So this Windows JVM contains Windows OS library. Linux JVM contains Linux OS library. Yes, Unix JVM contains Unix library. Since Windows JVM contains Windows library, yes, it can link with Windows library. So Windows JVM is having knowledge of Windows library. Reason, already this library linked with Windows JVM. This library already linked with Windows JVM. It's exe file. So Windows JVM is having knowledge of Windows library. Okay. So JVM takes test.class for linking with Windows library because of having Windows library here. Okay. Yes, Linux JVM is having knowledge of Linux library. Since having knowledge of Linux library, it can link with Linux OS here. Yes, next. Yes, Unix JVM is having knowledge of Unix library. Reason it's exe file. In that exe file, already library is there. So with the help of that linking text space, that's it here. So here JVM is a voice dependent. JVM is a voice dependent. JVM is voice dependent. Since JVM is voice dependent, JDK also voice dependent here. JDK also voice dependent here. JDK. Yeah, JDK for Windows phase, JDK for Linux phase, JDK for Unix phase. Different JDK you have to download it. Same JDK will not work for all. Same JDK will not work for all the operations. For example, downloads JDK 1.8. JDK for yes, yes. In your syllabus, first is starting with 1.8, next 1.9, next 11 and 13 will discuss. See this. Java downloads Oracle India. Yes, now Java with Oracle Corporation. Yes, Java taken over by the Oracle Corporation. Now it is with Oracle Corporation. Yes, from this you can download. Okay, see this. Linux. Linux JDK for this is JDK. JDK for Linux. Okay, JDK for Linux OS. JDK for Mac OS. Okay, in Linux also we have different kind of things. Like Linux, Red Hat Linux is available, Ubuntu Linux available. Next, CentOS, there are different Linux applications. Linux also again, there are different distributions, different flavors available. Okay, so JDK depends on different Linux operations. Okay, yes, for example, RPM is this Red Hat Linux base. RPM, yes, this is for Red Hat Linux base. Or .rpm, Red Hat. .tar.gz, this is for the Ubuntu Linux. This is for Ubuntu Linux base. This is for Red Hat Linux base. Red Hat Linux base. Okay. See next Mac OS. JDK for Mac OS. JDK for Mac OS. Next JDK for Solaris. Solaris and Spark. Solaris is working on Spark mission. Spark is high speed mission. Okay. A JDK for Solaris OS. Okay, right? JDK for Windows OS. Yes, suppose JDK for Windows OS you want, then you have to download this one here. Windows 64-bit OS. Windows 64-bit OS. Windows, these are our JDK, you have to download this. When you try to download it, yes, see, try to download it. When you try to download it here, yes, okay, accept. Yes, it will ask for the Oracle account. It will ask for the Oracle account. Yes, I have the Oracle account already. So sign in. Yes, sign in. Already I have the Oracle. Yes, downloading. This is not downloading. So that's a way of downloading. Okay, you guys are not necessary to download here. I'll share that. JDK software I will provide you. JDK software, Java 8, Java 9, Java 11, Java 13. All 4 versions I will provide. Don't worry. So JDK software, next Eclipse software, all of the softwares I will provide you. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yes, for you guys, yes, Oracle account required. If you have the Oracle account, you can do that. Otherwise, you cannot here. Okay. Yes, don't worry. I'll provide. Okay. I have our office. I have our office softwares. Yes, same softwares I'll provide for you. These are freewares. Freewares anyone can use. No issue. Okay. So this is the reason. Yes. Yes. So this is the reason why dot class is independent platform. How dot class made us independent platform. That's it. This is about independent platform. Yes. Now let us see. Dot exe file and dot class file. What's the difference? Difference between dot exe file dot class. Yes, about exe file and dot class. Both we discussed. Both we discussed. Let us compare these two. Let us compare these two. Yes. I have prepared very clearly dot class file dot exe file differences. Yes. So this independent platform, this is completed. Yes, dot class file dot exe file differences. This is I have prepared very clearly. See, yes, in Google, just you try for the difference between exe file and dot class. Just you'll get only 1 or 2. Any websites or any trainer, they'll give only 2 or 3 points at it. But no one will give this much of differences. This much of differences. All these points, 8 points I have prepared. This all is my experience. Just it's experience here. Okay. See, exe file dot class file. What's the difference? See what is exe file? It's a binary code, right? Exe file contains binary code, zeros ones format. Exe file is a binary code. Dot class file is a byte code file. It's a byte code. Okay, exe file is binary code. Dot class file is a byte code. Yes, what is exactly byte code? We'll discuss in Java. Okay. Yes, to understand byte code here, I need to explain Java program. I need to explain Java program. Once Java programming started, we'll discuss. We have separate topic in bytecode explanation. I'll explain. So exe file contains binary code. Exe is a binary code file. It's a binary code file. Yes, dot class was a byte code file. Binary codes and byte codes. Binary codes and byte codes. Okay, so exe file is a binary file. Dot class a byte code file. Next, binary code, it's a system understandable language. Binary code is a system understandable language. So what is bytecode? JVM understandable language. Binary code is a system understandable language. Binary code is a system understandable language. Yes, bytecode is a JVM understandable language. Okay. So exe file is a binary code. Binary code is system. System is processor understandable language. Dot class file. It's a bytecode. Bytecode only JVM can understand. JVM understandable language. Okay, fine. So next difference. 1 second. Let me have some water. Yes. Next step. Here, exe file. What is exe file? Exe file, it contains program code plus software library plus OS library. That is exe file. Yes. What is dot class file? Yes. Pure Java program. Purely Java program. Don't have any OS library. Pure Java program. Don't have any OS library. Correct. Next, C. Exe file is a prepared file for specific OS. It's a prepared one. Suppose exe file prepared a Linux OS linked with Linux library. So means only Linux. Working on Linux. So that is prepared for only Linux OS. Suppose exe prepared Windows OS, only Windows. Prepared for specific operating system. Yes, exe file is prepared for specific operating system. Okay. Dot class file is not a prepared file. It's not a prepared file. Just it's a Java program. It's not a prepared for specific ways. Okay. So dot class file is not a prepared file. Fine. See, OS library. See, OS library. Yes, one. OS library statically linking with exe file. OS library statically linking with exe file means at the time of creation of exe file itself linking. Okay, the point practically I showed all these points. Okay, next OS library dynamically linking with the dot class. Dynamically. Okay, dynamically. Okay, yes, these are all the points already we discussed. Just I'm comparing this to that's it. Now just I'm comparing for easy understanding. Just I'm comparing here. Okay, yes. See, exe file is already prepared one. Exe file is already prepared one. Yes, before moving to OS. Exe file is already prepared. Preparing, then moving to OS. But dot class file is not a prepared file. Dot class file is not a prepared. Dot class file is not a prepared file. After moving on to OS here, JVM prepares as per current OS. Suppose dot class file moving on to Windows OS. After moving on to Windows OS here, Windows JVM links dot class to Windows library. That means JVM linking at runtime here, not a prepared file. After moving on to OS. Okay, dot class file moving on to OS. After moving on to OS here, JVM prepares as per current OS. But exe file is a already prepared file. Exe file is a already prepared file. Exe file is a already prepared file. Okay, right? Yes, 1 second. Yes, exe file is a already prepared file. Okay, yes, 1 second. Some point missing here. 1 second. Insert below. See, since yes, exe file already prepared file, prepared prepared file, prepared file. Yes, it is OS dependent, OS dependent, OS dependent, OS dependent. Okay, since dot class is not a prepared file. Okay, is not a prepared file. Prepared file. Yes, it's an OS independent. OS independent. OS independent. Independent. OS independent. Okay. Next, one more point also you can add it here. One more point. One more point. Yes. Okay. Here all you can insert. Yes. Oh, below. Yes. So next here. Yes. Since exe file linked with OS library. Since exe file, yes, contains. Since exe file contains OS library. Since exe file contains OS library. OS library. OS library. Yes, it is OS dependent. It is OS dependent. One more point. It is OS dependent. It is OS dependent. Okay. Yes. Next. Since class file don't have. Yes. Don't have OS library. Don't have OS library. Okay. Don't have OS library. Yes. It is an independent. It is an independent. It's an independent. It's an independent of OS. Independent of OS. Independent of OS. See, even Python script also. Python script also don't have any OS library. Python script don't have any OS library. Since Python script don't have any OS library, that is also OS independent here. Python also OS independent. Okay. See, any program which containing OS library, that is OS dependent. Generally, exe files. Exe files are OS dependent. Okay. Java program don't have OS library. Say OS independent. Python script also don't have OS library. Independent of OS. Scala also don't have OS library. Okay, Scalar just is the next generation of Java. Scala is a next generation of Java. C++ next generation of C language. C++ is the next generation of C language. Java is a next generation for C++. Scala is a next generation for Java. Scala is a next generation of Java. Scala is the next generation of Java. Next level. Scala one more level. More than Java Scala. Okay. Yes. Scala using in big data applications. Scala using for big data applications. Okay. Yes. Yeah, these all the C language, C++, Java, and Scala, all these languages I work with. Next to Python. This year I have a lot of experience. Okay, because of my projects experience. Okay, so this is next. Next, one more difference here. See, exe file executes faster than dot class file. Yes, exe file executes faster than dot class file. Reason, already prepared file, directly executing. Yes, Java. Since Java dot class file preparing at runtime, dot class preparing at runtime, right? Preparing means linking Java program with various libraries and running. Linking running means time taken for linking. Linking with various library. The Java program statements, Java bytecode in Java program dot class file contains for bytecode. That bytecode first step convert into binary codes. After the binary code has to link with various library. So two jobs at runtime. What happens in Java? Two jobs at runtime. First two jobs. First one is bytecode converting into binary codes. Second job is binary code links to various library. Two things happens at runtime here. In Java, two things happens at runtime here. So first one, bytecode converting into binary codes. Second one, binary code links with various library. So two things happening at runtime. So because of that, slowly running compared to exe file. See, exe file is already contains binary codes. Exe file contains already binary codes, means already prepared code. Next, already linked with various library. Already the jobs are already done. So exe file executes faster than dot class file, but dot class file somewhat slow compared to exe file. Okay, so you get Java program, yes, somewhat slow compared to C program exe, C and C plus exe file. But in Java, there are many strategies followed to improve the application performance. To improve the performance of Java applications, many strategies like in JVM, some GT compiler, some garbage collector, collection components, various strategies are using in Java application development to improve the performance. Okay, right? Next, one more thing here. One more important point. This may be interview question compulsory. This is interview question. Suppose see this here. That for the TXE file running right. Yes. To develop this project TXE file, C software required. Yes, on Linux base here, in this ways, C software already I have installed. Already I have installed here. I have installed already. After installing here, yes, developed C program. Next exe file created. Now this exe file move to another Linux base. Now currently the one Linux base running. Suppose this another Linux base, another Linux. There are 4 Linux systems are there in my computer. Yes, in my system, 4 Linux systems. So on machine 1, currently that is prepared on machine 1. Prepared on machine 1. So first Linux machine. Same project exe will moving on second Linux base. Yes, it will work directly here. Again, C software not necessary. See, on the first machine, on the first Linux system, first machine, yes, Linux C software installed and prepared exe file. That exe file placed on second machine. After placing a same Linux base, same Ubuntu base, and run it direct. Yes, it can run directly here. Again, C software not necessary. C software not necessary. That software installation not necessary. Suppose Java, come to Java. Suppose dot class file prepared on Windows base. Okay, dot class file prepared on Windows base. Okay, after preparing dot class file Windows base, to prepare dot class file Windows base on Windows base, yes, installing JDK software. Once JDK software installing Java software getting care, using Java software generating dot class file, untested, working fine. Same dot class file move in Linux base, run it. No, it won't work. To run it here, you have to install here JVM requires. For the purpose of JVM, JDK you have to install. See, to run test.class file, every OS must have JVM. Without OS, without JVM, dot class file will not run here. So how can you get JVM? Yes, JDK. Once JDK installed, you can get JVM. Okay, so JDK requires. To run the Java program compulsory, JDK requires. Without JDK, Java program won't run here. See here, see to run the C program exe file here, C software not necessary. Okay, same ways. So exe file running on similar ways. If you're running on similar ways here, C software is not necessary again here. C software not necessary. Directly can run it. But Java, yes, Java software requires. To run the Java program, Java software you have to install it. Otherwise cannot. The JDK should be installed. That's it here. So this is difference between .exe file, .class file. Yes, all these interview questions. Okay. Yes, all that interview questions get till now want to discuss too. These are all in the interviews. Definitely will ask all the questions. You have to answer. Okay. Yes, one thing I'm sure. See, yesterday topic, today topic. No trainer will explain. I'm sure 100. It's my challenge. No trainer will explain this kind of concepts. Yesterday's topic, today topic. Even websites also will not explain. This is all my experience. Okay, this is all my experience. Okay, right? Yes, because of embedded C experience, Java experience, I have the multiple experience here. I have the experience of Linux base, how Linux OS is behaving, how Linux OS was developed, the Linux internals. I have the experience, the embedded C experience, Java experience, JVM experience. Because of that only, I'm able to explain all of these things. Okay, I'm able to explain all of these things because of the experience. Okay, yes. So this is yes, introduction, independent platform and all this, right? Yes. Next, yes, Java installation. 1 second, someone is asking doubts. No, jar file, Java jar file don't have any waste library. What is jar file? Jar file is nothing but it's a Java library. Java library is a Java code. Java library contains Java code, pure Java code, dot class files. Java library contains Java dot class files. What is dot class file? Pure Java code. That's it. Java jar file means it's a Java library. Java library contains what? All the dot class files. Dot class file is a Java code. No library. No library. Okay. So if contains library, jars are OS dependent. That jars becomes OS dependent, but jar is not a OS dependent. Here only JVM is a OS dependent. Okay, JVM, only JVM. Yes, in JDK software, JVM, JRE, Java compiler, library, many things. Here JVM is a OS dependent. JVM is a OS dependent. That's it. Okay, JVM is a OS dependent. Next, even Java compiler also OS dependent. Not only JVM here, Java compiler for Windows OS, Java compiler for Linux OS, Java compiler also is changing here. Same compiler you cannot use on all different operations here. Okay, Java compiler is a part of JDK. Java compiler is OS dependent. JVM is OS dependent. But Java library is independent of OS. Yet the differences I'll explain. Yes, we have separate topic and it's difference between 1 second. The difference between JVM, JRE and JDK, the differences. The differences. What's the difference? Yes, after explaining, yes, next we have one more topic about JVM topic. One more topic about JVM. Yes, after finishing first program explaining about JVM. This is not right time to discuss about JVM. So this is JVM. After explaining JVM, what's the difference between these things? What is difference between JDK, JRE, JVM? That explanation is there. Okay. See, these are the some questions. Some questions. For every topic, separate questions prepared. Every chapter wise interview questions prepared here. Now you can answer some questions. What is OS? You can answer. What is an exe file? You can answer now. Can we create exe file in Java? You can answer this. What is dot class file? This also you can answer here. How Java program is independent of platform? This also you can answer. Now, what is the exe file? Difference between exe file dot class file? This up to the sixth question you can answer now. Yes, after JVM topic, this one JDK JRE JVM. Okay, this topic we'll discuss next. Okay, yes. So next topic is Java installation. Yes, tomorrow topic is how to install Java. Tomorrow topic is, yes, this is Java installation topic, very clearly prepared, step by step, installing Java and path setting. Okay, yes, JDK downloading, installing. Yes, you need that download. I'll share with you. I'll share with you. Okay, yes, that different steps. After installing Java, next, how to set up Eclipse. Eclipse you have to set up. Yes, every day working with Eclipse only. Eclipse setup steps. After that, application or Java application or steps. This topic tomorrow we'll discuss. Yes, that's all for today. Yes, any doubts? Yes, guys, any doubts? See, 1 second. Yes, still anyone to submit your details, please share your details in my WhatsApp number. Okay, 8179189123. This is my WhatsApp number. Yes, in your group. Yes, in WhatsApp group already yesterday shared yesterday's class link. Yes, yesterday recording already shared. Okay, today I'm creating drive. For I think yesterday created. I have created drive. Drive created already. The drive level link I'll share it today. Yes, now recording. Yes, recording level link shared here. Please submit. Still any pending are there here? Submit your name. Yes, next. What's a course you are attending here? Course Java. Course Java. Course Java. Next time. Yes, 8:30 a.m. Yes, till end of the batch. Same time. No chance of changing this is. Prepare for it. Time 8:30 a.m. Correct. Next. Yes, Gmail ID requests. Your Gmail ID. Get these things. Share these details. This is my number. So this is my number. Okay. Share your details. Yes, your batch group. Yes, 8:30 a.m. September. Yes, already communication is going on. Yes, that. Yes, yes, daily document. Sorry, daily recording shared. Yes, that link sharing. Daily link sharing, but from today, yes, I'll share drive level link. Drive level link for your batch drive already created. Let me show the drive for your batch. This is your batch drive created, already uploaded. Now currently recording level shared, but I'll share drive level next. Once I share drive level here, yes, everybody can directly can see. There simply I will upload in drive. You can watch it. Okay. Next, one more thing. 10 a.m. batch. Just only 4 days before of your batch started. That batch also merging into your batch. I think mostly it will be 25 members in your batch. Yes, 10 a.m. batch already. Yes, that batch 14 members are there. That batch 14 members are 10 a.m. 10 a.m. recordings. Okay. Yes, your batch 4 sessions completed. For them 7 sessions completed. Only 3 days. Yes, just 3 days ahead of you. Okay. Yes, that batch also merging into your batch. That batch also merging into your batch. Yes, by Monday, not now. By Monday, I'll merge these two batches. So finally, it will be 25 members minimum, no doubts. Okay. Yes, my batches, every batch is minimum 25. Next, one more thing. Monday, I'm starting one more batch. Every week, I'm starting a batch. Okay. Every week. Yeah. Yes. Many students are asking. Yes. Many students are asking to start start batches. Continuously, they are asking. Because of that reason, every week we are starting batch. Every week. Okay. Every week we are starting batch. Evening batch. That is evening batch. Not morning. That is evening batch. That is evening batch. Okay. Monday evening batch. That is. Yes. Yeah, that's all. Yes. For your, yeah, this drive link, I'll share it today. Okay. Yes. Any doubts? Yeah, this is my WhatsApp number. Yes, still anyone pending is there? Please share your details. This is my number. Any doubts still? Any doubts? Yes. So tomorrow going for installation. Tomorrow going for, yes, installation. Java installation, Eclipse installation, and all these steps we'll be discussing. Okay. Yeah. That's all for today. Yes. That's all for today. Okay. Yes, tomorrow same 8:30, same link, no change in link. Tomorrow also same. Till Saturday, same link. Till Saturday, same link. Till Saturday, same link here. Same link. Same link. No change in link. No change in link. Okay. Yes. I think no doubts. If no doubts, let us wind up session. Tomorrow we'll continue for this installation topic. Okay. What's the time of 8:30? 8, yeah, this 8:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m. It's a fixed time. 8:30 a.m. IST. It's a fixed time. Never changing. This is your batch time is this time only. No change. This time only. Your batch is this time. 8:30 a.m. only. Here. No change. Till end of the batch, same. No changes. Yeah, that's all for today. That's all for today. So thank you guys. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow ready for installation. Java installation. Okay. Java installation and yes, on setups and Eclipse. Don't miss tomorrow class. Tomorrow class is very, very important. Okay. Yes, tomorrow if you're missing tomorrow class, little bit under difficult to understand next coming topics. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all for today. Okay. So that's all for today. So thank you guys. Yes, see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, same time, 8:30 exactly. Thank you.